they have the bye, the Roosters, and we thought Dom Young, who had been given permission to leave, it sounded like it was already sorted, but then this happened.
The way it was sort of put out there was as if we were trying to push him out, which wasn't the case. Newcastle rang us, and obviously having talked to his manager beforehand when he got dropped to try and get him out, and we said yes, and then they wanted us to pay the whole year, and we went, well, no, if you want him. Their chairman said that they had the money to take him now, and so we agreed. His management wanted that, and then they've backtracked. And then it came out as if we were pushing him out, which was not the case. He's on contract. There's no issue. It's just I thought Mark was outplaying him. Really simple. That happens every week in sport around the world. Like, it's quite simple. He's a really good player. He's an NRL player. He's a starting NRL player. But Mark was playing slightly better, and you make that choice. This happens in the game, so there's no problem with that. But when you say something, back it up. We had not one discussion about letting Dom go at all. That wasn't a discussion at all, right? Then we get approached by Newcastle and his management, and they say, we want this to happen. And we say, fine, well, you take up the contract. And then they want us to release him, but us to pay money for it when we weren't even thinking about releasing him. In what world does that happen?
You know what? I like it. I actually like it because I've got to say that the general perception was, and maybe is, that the Roosters were letting him go.
Yeah, well,
so I actually quite like it, but it's all unravelled. And, Brian, I've got to say that I'll ask you this. So Greg Marzu's going to be out. James Schiller is already on the right wing, who's not a locked and loaded first grader. So I kind of half, when I was doing my sort of ratings on Monday, I sort of kind of half thought Dom Young might be there. Who's going to play on the wing for the Knights? Tell me who's going to play on the wing this week for the Knights.
It's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah, who is it going to be?
It's quite interesting that Robbo said that they didn't want to let him go, like he wasn't even in plans, but then all of a sudden they've bumped him and said, well, yeah, we will let you go.
No, but it sounds like what he's saying, Robbo, is that the Knights have come to them.
Yeah, and said, but the Knights would have to pay money. That's not, like, as Robbo said, the Knights are going to get a player and not have to pay a Zach? Why would the Roosters let him go for that? Pub test,
let me throw you the pub test. Pub test would be, okay, Dom Young plays for the Knights this week and you pay the pro rata for the rest of the contract and beyond. That's as simple as that, isn't it?
What would it be? So he's on 500.
Yep. And what month are we in?
So we're
keeping in mind that...
November's. So it might be 200, 220 or something?
Yeah. So the Knights got to wear that, don't they?
Maybe they don't have the salary cap.
Yeah, maybe they can't.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't. Otherwise, why wouldn't they do it? Because I have no idea. And if you think you're the Knights, while all these conversations are happening, you're already short for wingers, and then Marzu drops out.
Yeah.
So now they're really under the pump.
But the Roosters too, like you got Billy Smith who's going good. You got Robert Toyer going good. Dom Young's next in line. If one of them go down, so Robbo needs a backup. Yeah,
but he's also probably at that stage of the year where you got to run a fine line. We're running out of good time tokens.
Or is it the fact that he's got another 2 years to go?
Yeah, all that.
And they don't want to, yeah.
All that. That may be the principal thing, and Brandon Smith the same. Just on the pair of them, Brian.
Yeah.
Are they jockeying for... I had a dream, right, that Luke Keary came back for the rest of the year.
Back to
Roosters.
Chooks.
Could that happen or not?
Well, no, Sammy Walker's not far away.
He's not... It's not going down well for him overseas.
Well, was that one comment?
Okay. It was a dream. Yeah. But who...
It's a dream. They reckon, this is a bit of us, I was talking to Connor last night, and I said, how's Sammy Walker going? He says, mate, because he's no contact, but he can run, and he's playing scrimmage against him. He said, mate, he's carving us up.
Yeah, he's carving you up. Yeah, he's a gun. But let me ask you this, Brian, before we break.
Oh, quick break.
Is there somebody in mind before June 30?
For the Chooks?
Yes.
No, I think it's all to do with next year.
What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.